It's not a walkthrough, playthrough, review, anything like that. It's just me playing the game badly so you can see what it looks like. Okay then, after a long absence due to a complete lack of Wi-Fi, this is 1943 Kai, apparently, on the PC Engine. Turbo graphics if you're in the US, but it's a PC Engine console. It's a modded one. It's got a SCART lead, which they didn't come as standard, which causes the colour to be a little bit oversaturated. I've tweaked the settings of the TV as best as I can to try and make it look normal. I don't know how successful I've been. Whoa, because yeah, PC Engines, they just came with a oh god, RF signal, which was really not great. So the mod on this, while it's probably an improvement over a standard PC Engine, is probably not as good as it would have been on the core graphics. What is that? Oh my. So I've not played this game before. I've had a load of ROMs sitting on my computer for ages, which I didn't have on the EverDrive cartridge that I've got slotted into this. And I thought, well, it's about time I gave them a try, since I haven't... Oh god. Yeah, I've been without Wi-Fi for about a month, so I've not been uploading. Those of you who didn't know what's been going on. I'm making a pig's ear of these power-ups, as you can see. I don't know what any of that writing says. Like, whoa, yeah. So I had pretty good power, and now I've got pretty weedy power because I don't know what I'm doing. Give me that. And this is fast. Oops, bollocks. It's very fast. The thing with the PC Engine that blows my brain is its sprite handling. I mean, it was touted in the West as being an 8-bit system, which is sort of true in that it's an 8-bit CPU, but it's 16-bit graphics chips, and they kick ass. The resolution is lower, I think, than the Mega Drive. I'm not sure, I don't remember how it compares in terms of the number of colours on screen, but in terms of sprite handling and the speed it throws them around at, this fairly kicks the arse out of the Mega Drive. And while it's absolutely got fewer colours than the SNES, again, its sprite handling is way, way, way better. Is that a cow? Why have they got a cow on an aircraft carrier? Look at that, there, up there. That, I'm sure, is a cow. It's not an aircraft carrier, it's a cow carrier. Mark Verheer would be thrilled. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting messages. Yeah, so the thing, going back to the Wi-Fi situation, the heating in this house is hooked up to the internet, so it can be remotely controlled by the housing agency. So when the Wi-Fi went down, the heating went down, and we've been without heat for a month. And the guy came round yesterday, finally got it fixed. Not his fault. Talk are just a big barrel of shite. I explained what the problem was. You know, they kept sending an engineer out and they would mess around with it. I knew what the problem was, and I kept telling them what the problem. Well, I kept telling the housing guy, if I could have had a conversation with Talk, they probably still wouldn't have understood. But anyway, finally got it sorted out. So now we have heating, and to be fair, I don't want that too much heating. It's boiling in here. I think the guy maybe cranked it up a little high to compensate, like we're getting a month's worth of heat crammed into a day now to make up for the lack of heat for that month. But it's insanely hot. The thermostat thing, digital thermostat out in the hallway, which doesn't seem to allow us to control the heat, is reading a temperature of 25.5 degrees. I don't know if it's reading that in the hallway or in the airing cupboard or wherever it is, but this room's like a sauna, and I can't turn the radiator off. And I don't know how other people in the house feel about it. It's like, after a month of no heat and it being cold, it seems really petulant to then contact them and say, yeah, it's too hot here. But it is kind of ridiculous. I don't know if you can hear the fan. There's a fan. I've got my window wide open and a fan blowing cold air in through the window just to make it bearable. I've got 2 fans running in this room. I'm playing this game on easy mode, in case you hadn't figured, because really I should be dead. I've got another button there. Yeah, it's about time I pressed that. I don't know how many of those I've got. So I'm not really familiar with 1943. I played 1941 a lot in the arcades, and it's like it's on just about every NES compilation I've got. This is clearly not quite that. This is something a little more advanced. I don't know what that says. Yeah, this is streets ahead of anything I played on the NES. I mean, graphically, it sort of looks similar, but the movement and the power, the speed, the number of sprites and everything is way, way, way beyond what the NES can do. And it's a shame the PC Engine wasn't accurately depicted in the gaming media at the time. Because I think it deserved to do better than it did in the West. It was very much like, well, in the UK it didn't really get an official release at all. There was a thing called the TurboGrafx, not the TurboGrafx 16, but the TurboGrafx, which was effectively a PC Engine in a TurboGrafx case running PAL thing. Not completely. Oh, didn't want that. It ran in PAL mode, but it was running PC Engine games. Were they converted? Because PC Engine ROMs are NTSC mode. Come on, oh bollocks. I don't know, but anyway, it was a sort of semi-official release. Gimme. Oh. Come on, hit the geezer. Or something. Ooh. Oh, let's just do that. I don't know how many I've got of those. Ooh, that was close. Forgot what I was saying, or if there was a point to what I was saying. I'm gonna die any minute. There I go. Now we won't continue. So that is 1943 Kai on the PC Engine. I like it a lot. It's impressive. It's fast. It throws those sprites around. Can you imagine? You're playing a World War II airplane shooter and you're firing sprouts. That would be something kind of weird. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for watching. Sprouts. Okay then. Today's question for Q&A, and by God it's been a while. Sorry about that. I've had no Wi-Fi, as I've probably mentioned in the video before this. Question. Can't see, wrong glasses. Here we go. from 005 Amiga, link to his channel down there. Question for Q&A. If you've not done this one, if you have, link me to the vid. I haven't. What would you consider to be both the best and worst movie to game titles, and why? So, licensed movie games then. Tricky one, because as a rule I never ever buy movie license games, because invariably, well, historically they were all terrible, just diabolical, and I had the answer in my head for the worst one. The best one is easy, it's an absolute piece of cake, no brainer. What is my favourite arcade game of all time? Star Wars. Atari Star Wars Arcade. It's just the best movie to game, it's the best arcade game. The fact that it's from a movie is almost irrelevant, except it's Star Wars in it, and if you're a bit of a geek, and aren't we all? Certainly here. Star Wars, awesome. So Star Wars game, awesome. If only all movie franchises, movie licenses could be converted as successfully and as well as that. It's a brilliant game. They took the basic concept, or one aspect of the film. They weren't trying to tell the story of the film. And really, if you watch the film, you could throw the rest of the film away. It doesn't matter. The only bit you want to see, if you're me, is the Death Star trench run. That's the film. Forget the rest. That's just filler, just to make a film. Or it is if you're me when you're like 12 or 10, or how old was I? I was younger than that. Anyway, that's the best. Atari Star Wars Arcade. Worst, it's a difficult one, because as I said, I don't play movie licensed games because they're crap. But I have two in mind, and the one I was going to say is a Master System game. It's one of the Back to the Future games. It's in the Wild West. Is it Back to the Future 3? It might be. I saw Back to the Future 2 quite recently. Now, I saw the first one in the cinema, loved it. Saw the second one in the cinema, hated it. Never watched the third one. And I watched the second one again recently just because it happened to be on. It was while we were in Blackpool, it was on the telly. There were no other choices. It was just like Freeview television. That was on, we watched. And I enjoyed it. I also understood why I hated it the first time I saw it, because Back to the Future it's a nice, tidy story. It's uncomplicated. He goes into the past, he mucks things up, he's got to fix things. Tidy. Back to the Future 2 is just complicated and not as easy to watch, and not as... It just takes a mental gymnastics that I really couldn't be bothered with back then. Watching it this time around, I sort of enjoyed it because I was able to keep up with what the hell was going on. But still, not a great film, but not as bad as I thought. But I played a game on the Master System, and I think it must have been Back to the Future 3, and it's awful. It's diabolical. I couldn't get past a certain bit. Try as I might, it was just impossible, and that was terrible. And I was going to say that's the worst, but then I remembered Predator on the Acorn Electron. No. The graphic, I mean, there is some technically clever stuff in that they're trying to do parallax scrolling on a machine that has no hardware. Graphics hardware on it is way limited. It's just not capable of that kind of thing. But while they were doing that, smooth scrolling was not a factor. It's like parallax, when your movement is like that, ain't clever. And they forgot to make a game. It was like a failed tech demo without much of a game. You couldn't not die. It didn't matter what you did, you just died. You couldn't make much progress at all because most of the time you were dead. Shit game. Diabolical. I'm I spilled my dinner down myself at some point. And that must have been today. You didn't want to know that, I don't care. Yeah, I'm thinking that I recently saw a place that's selling an SD card solution for the Acorn Electron, and I'm thinking if they have those in stock, next time Patreon money comes in, I may well buy one of those. I'm kind of torn between those and the RG350, which is a handheld Linux thingy, you know, one of these emulation handhelds that's apparently very, very, very good. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. One costs more than the other. Okay, I think that answers that question. Best Star Wars, worst Predator. Definitely play Star Wars if you get the opportunity. I got to play it in Play Expo in Blackpool this year. I played it twice, once on the stand-up cab, which was set on not easy because I only had 6 shields, and then I had to go on the sit-down cab, which was on easy, and I had 9 shields. And I can't honestly say I did much better on the sit-down one. I think I got to level 5, where on the stand-up I got to level 4. Nothing compared to that level 9 go I had last time I was there. That was epic, and I couldn't match that, which is, it's a shame, but there you go. Okay, I'm going to stop waffling now. If you've got any questions you would like answering in a video like this, just leave your question in the comments below. Begin with for Q&A, so I know not to just answer in the comments. And thank you for watching.
Not without a knighthood. Not a chance. Anyway, Benway who? Oh. You lot. Hello? What? Oh. Please subscribe. Thank you. Can I go now?